I'm Jamie Shipley on the Unitech sales team from America, but I'm here in Taiwan today to show you, all my co-workers throughout the world, the fifth floor of Unitech's headquarters here in Taipei. On my right is product manufacturing, but before any of our products go to mass manufacturing, they're tested first in the product PQT room, product quality control testing room. Come follow me around the corner here. In this room, there's 12 different stations I'm going to show you where products are being tested to make sure they meet certain specifications. The first one is right here. You can see the barcode going around the spinner here, and this MS916 is scanning them to make sure it continuously scans. This is the tumble tester, and as you've seen in other videos, we make sure our products tumble over and over again. This would be for our mobile computers. In this case, we've got an HT682 in there being tumbled from 50 centimeters or the 100 centimeter chamber over 600 times. All right, follow me over here to the humidity and temperature testing. In here are some TB120s that are cycling through high temperatures and low temperatures 10 times within a certain amount of time. I think it's 24 hours. We've got two of these chambers running right now that are testing MS. In this area, we're testing batteries. So you'll see three PA120 batteries being tested out here, and it's to make sure that they meet the specifications that the battery manufacturer set. And they can also be put in this heat chamber to make sure that they can still go through those charge and discharge cycles in higher temperatures. All right, follow me to this area. This is the bending tester, where these cables are being tested to make sure they can be bent over and over again at certain angles. And it looks like they're tested a lot of times with the weight on them here. And this is the battery button tester, button life tester, I should say. In this case, this button will be pressed 1 million times. This area here tests every single button on the mobile computer to make sure it meets the specifications for force when you press the button. So it's just a real precise force measuring button tester. I'm sure that's not a real word, but follow me. This section from this rack over to this area simulates durability. So you'll see the TB120 cradle here, and this machine is inserting and pulling out the USB cable over and over again to make sure it meets the specifications of durability. The last two stations I'll show you is a very famous drop tester here, where we test our products, dropping them from on six different faces from either 4 feet or 5 feet to this platform. This room just gets really hot, and it tries to tell us if a product will last for a long time through heat. So for example, you'll see on this chart that being in this room at whatever temperature it's at for 3.7 hours is the equivalent of being in here for being alive for 390.9 hours. So using heat, they make sure that the product will last for a long time. And that's the 12 stations in this room. Okay, so we've walked around the manufacturing floor, and we're over here what we call the burn-in room. And it's because there's 5 chambers or 4 chambers in here of burn-in. We'll talk about that in a second. But 2 of the machines in here are for PQT, product quality testing. The first one is for water testing. You know the IP rating, the ingress protection rating? In this chamber, they test for the IP rating with the water. So this squirts out water, and then the product sits here, and if it survives the water testing, then it meets the specifications for IP56 or so forth. For the dust testing, they test that off-site. The equipment for testing the dust is in here. Now there is another test that we run over here called the vibration test, and you'll see that on a separate video, but they test at high vibrations to simulate being in a car or on an airplane or something like that. So the reason this room is called the burn-in room is because each of these chambers will take every product off the manufacturing floor. It'll go in this room, and for 12 hours it'll be at a high temperature, and then they'll test the product again after it comes out to make sure that the product that was manufactured still works, basically. And that is it for this room. This small chamber, there's two of them, is for testing the Wi-Fi. So every unit that comes off the production line, or a majority of them, come into this room for testing to make sure the Wi-Fi works. And this door, or these walls are really thick to make sure that all the Wi-Fi just stays in this room. All right, here at Unitech headquarters on the 8th floor, where all the engineers and R&D work, is this radiation testing chamber. In this chamber, they'll put a RFID unit, and they'll want to measure and make sure that they're sending the RFID signal the right way. So they need to make sure there's no bouncing off of the RFID signal or the radiation from that signal. So they're measuring to make sure they've got the antennas pointed in the right direction and making sure the signal's going in the right direction. So they need to absorb and make sure that there's no signals being bounced off. And they do it with this room. So they'll put one unit in space in here, and they'll aim it that way, and then using that equipment, they'll test it and make sure that they can get a good read of what the radiation pattern looks like. I'm Jamie Shipley on the Unitech America sales team, but today I'm in Taiwan on Unitech's building on the 5th floor where manufacturing happens. This room behind me is the clean room, and in this room they put the displays together to make sure there's no dust in between those layers of glass and plastic. So you'll see a worker in there, and she's working on putting some displays together. Final assembly happens in this row right down the line here, and you'll see some workers putting together the final assembly of some units here. As they come down the line, they finish production at this, putting together at this point, and then around the corner there's 6 stations where they do testing. Follow me. At this station they test the audio sound from the audio jack port. Over there they test all the sensors, like the proximity sensor and the accelerometer and the light sensor over there. Over here they test it's not Wi-Fi, that's right here. What's over here? They test the
microphone.
Oh yes, the microphone and the speaker. The loudspeaker and the loud microphone. This little chamber right here tests the Wi-Fi. Over there, they test the GPS receiver. Here they test the 3G, or 2G and 3G radios, cellular radios. All that testing is recorded by this worker over here, and then they're ready for packaging over here. So final cleaning and then packaging over there and shipped off to the customer.